What's up, YouTube? On my way to work as usual. There's something pretty important I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Just something that's been kind of on my mind recently. Early teenage years to about like 24, 25 is my average viewer. And I found that really interesting because that's my range, my age falls into that range. So it's a lot of my peers, it's a lot of my peers that are watching my videos. And there's a really major thing that we're all kind of dealing with. That's the future. And it's something that's on my mind a lot. I'm thinking, okay, what's the future of my career? What's the future of, the contents of my garage? What's the future of motovlogging in general? And to some extent, everyone has to worry about the future. But when you're like, in that demographic of late middle school, early high school, from like late middle school to late high school, shit. All you have to worry about is the present and the future. And then you, of course, still have all your awkward middle school days haunting you. So I guess you have to worry about the past, too. You have a lot to worry about. You have a whole lot to worry about. And a lot of people all around you are probably telling you these are the best years of your life. And that's just, no. That's not true. They're not. They're most definitely not the best years of your life. So if you're having a really shitty time right now, trust me, it gets a lot better. But that all being said, what I wanted to talk about basically is this interesting return to, I guess, finding like value and honor in trade jobs with our generation. It's very interesting to me because that wasn't a very big thing in like, I don't know, at least the last, the previous generation, maybe the last two generations. It was like, oh, you gotta go to college, you gotta become, Mr. Doctor, lawyer, scientist, physics, engineer guy. And if you don't do that, then you wasted all your potential and, now you're just fucking gonna be below the poverty line your whole life. And that's not cool. Not everyone, there's this idea that I feel like our culture has really cultivated that you have to go to college. You have to have this long-term career you spend 30 years working towards, and then that's it. You work your career, you retire at, 65, you have 2.5 kids, in a house in the suburbs of a major city, and that's it. That's your life. Congratulations. You won the normal lottery. It's over now. You die in a nursing home. Thank you, goodbye. And it's like, there's so many people in our generation that are, that don't believe in that anymore, that feel like that's wrong, and I think that's awesome, because it is wrong. It is stupid. I was raised with this idea that if I, and all my peers, most of my peers were as well, that if you don't go to college, you're not going to be a success in life. Now, granted, I went to college. I didn't finish college, but I went to college. And I find a lot of other guys and girls my age are kind of in the same boat. See, I decided when I put myself through college that I was not going to take out any debt at all. I wasn't going to do this whole student loan thing. I wasn't going to do that. I was going to find the cheapest possible route to get a degree to set me up with the job that I at the time wanted, which was, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. As I started following that path, I found that, man, this is basically a desk job where you're sitting and, you're working in AutoCAD, which is essentially like, think Photoshop for blueprints. And you're sitting there with AutoCAD and you're like, all right, wow, I just spent 9 hours finalizing the design on this bracket that goes in this big industrial machine that 2,000 people have also made various brackets, nuts, and bolts for. It's just, until you become like really high up, you're not building things, you're a cog. You're a cog that is designing cogs. Or even a single tooth on a single cog. Yeah, obviously that's a bit extreme, but you get my idea. It wasn't what I pictured it when I was a kid with a workshop in my basement, you know, building a 3D printer, making things. You know, I like engineering as a hobby, and that's when I really found my true calling when I got into motorcycles, because shit, I was a broke college student with an SR 400 that kept exploding every time I tried to take it on a fucking road trip. All I wanted to do was take it on a road trip, and it would blow up every single time. And after buying a couple other bikes and working my way through all sorts of electrical issues and mechanical issues, and more recently taking a couple old bikes and putting a lot of work into them, I think I've found my calling, and it's motorcycles. And I wouldn't say being a mechanic per se, but that hobby side of everything that I loved when I was growing up, the creativity that you needed, the, you know, not common sense per se, but oh fucking Christ, I just got hit in the face by a fucking bug. Not in the face, but in the center of my windscreen. Face shield? Visor? I don't know. My facial window was assaulted by an insect. But yeah, and you know, that's not really, so it's like I found my calling, and all these aspects that I loved from from what led me to want to become a mechanical engineer, I found. And of course, it didn't just come on to me like that. I wanted to be an engineer. I tried to be an engineer for a semester. I then discovered all of those things I just explained about AutoCAD, and how you're not really building things, you're designing things, and that whole thing. So I thought, okay, well, whatever. I happened to take a computer science course my first semester, and I decided, well, I'm rather fond of that computer science class, and it just came really naturally to me. I had my professor twice accuse me of cheating because I aced 2 tests that the majority of the class failed, and he was like, look, everyone failed this test, like, you cheated. There's no way you got 100% on this test. He physically sat me down in front of him, gave me another test that he had mocked up with like different questions but the same concepts, and had me take it in front of him because he did not believe that I didn't cheat. And I aced that one too. So like, it came very naturally to me. So in the process of trying to put myself through college, I was working at a restaurant. A very large portion of the staff quit, and I was the only one there basically to pick up what was left after everyone quit. So my work schedule went from like, I don't know, 15 hours a week, enough to kind of like skate by and pay the bills, and make enough, you know, for, you know, to pay for the college each semester. So like fucking 40 to 50, sometimes I think the peak hours were like 55 hours until they started hiring new people, which was fucking horrifying because I was also taking 4.5 classes. I was 4 classes in a lab in my second semester of college, which, like, if you're in high school, you hear, oh wow, 4 classes, that sounds great. No. In college, classes are very different than in high school. Your class doesn't end when you get out of class. Your class ends when you finish the 30-page research paper your professor expects you to complete by next week, along with half of your other professors expecting you to finish other large projects. And then, oh wait, you also have a group project with 4 people that you've only gotten to meet with once because your job is conflict. Everyone has different job schedules, and now your project is due and you have to do all the work because fucking Ashley decided that her fucking concert is more important than the project, and everyone else's grade depends on it, and the teacher doesn't believe you that Ashley's fucking around and not doing her job, and you gotta do it for her because she's a piece of shit. Fuck. So yeah, college isn't like high school, where if you fuck up, you can pretty much recover from it. College is, you walk into class, you find out you have 3 grades this semester, you bomb the first test, and now you have to get 100 on the other 2 or you're not going to pass. That is what college is. College sucks ass. Everything related to college has gotten increasingly expensive over the years. The minimum wage has not followed the rising cost of education. So right now, we live in a world where the culture is telling us we need college. If we don't go to college, we will not be successful. And yet, we also live in a country, if you're from America, of course, that in order to go to college, you need a job that is only going to pay you as much as you need to pay for college if you've been to college. And it's not getting any better. And I think that's why our generation is shying away from these big, flashy, college careers and entering more blue-collar trade jobs, like being a mechanic, for instance. I mean, I now have found what my dream is, and that is I want to open a repair shop. I want to open something like Bedlam Works in Athens, if you've been there, if you're familiar with it. I want to open something that will allow me to work on people's bikes, that will allow me to work with my hands, to get satisfaction out of my work. Something that I don't see myself getting from any other career. I want to work around motorcycles because motorcycles are something that I understand, something that I'm passionate about. I'm not passionate about mechanical engineering. I'm not passionate about computer science. I haven't stayed up until 3 in the morning trying to, design a bracket. I haven't stayed up till, I haven't worked through the night without even realizing that I was working through the night, trying to program something. Both of those things have happened working in my garage, and I don't regret a single second of it. So yeah. Sorry if this video was kind of all over the place, but that's something that's been that's a lot of things that have been kind of weighing on my mind recently. So, thank you very much for watching. I haven't really put out a serious video like this in a while. If you like this video, you can like this video. If you would like to see more things like this video, you can subscribe. And if you want to tell me something, tell me I'm good, tell me I'm bad, tell me my bike looks like a dirt bike had sex with a gold wing, have at it in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out, YouTube.